Hello there viewers, Sound Service here, back with another Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts video. Well, a live stream, depending on when you're watching this. Well, actually, anyone watching this section, it would be, episode. In the last episode, we, well, went to war with France. We finished our war with China. We won. We're winning our war against France right now. If I remember correctly, I got the Shukaku, which I'm going to send to add a little extra tonnage there. Got Shukaku, then we have the two Banrus, who I'm going to send down to Camaroc Bay with their torpedo boat escort. And the cruiser Mogami. And then those guys are going to invade Annam, so I'll start that invasion going off, whilst main fleet is defending our province here at Castle or Hainan Island as well, because Hainan Island in this game is a part of Castle some regional stuff, whereas in Rule of the Waves it's separate. Yeah, it's a bit of a complicated thing, but Fort Bayard is definitely being bombarded badly. French are sending more stuff. Okay. Somehow my fleet is now gone somewhat outside that invasion range. Right, let's move back into it. And there's a fleet meeting now. Okay. That's gonna be fun. Hey Avocado, we soft locked. We soft locked in the British campaign because yeah, something happened. Somehow a minor nation, two minor nations right next to each other had formed, invaded each other, and then that caused problems with one of those minor nations and did the soft lock issue that plagued the non-great game version of DIP. Essentially, the game then couldn't load in all available assets it needed, and then so it just stayed permanently on building new ships. Hello there, welcome. Oh, Alpharus, just so you know, I more complicated the history of that mercenary group now, because I spent 2 days ago going through and sorting out aircraft carrier history. Well, starting to go through the aircraft carrier history, because essentially it starts with what is referred to as ACV-0, which was originally a hybrid, but they saw sense and made it a full deck carrier that I mentioned, but then sank on builders trials. Then there's the the cargo ship converted into a carrier that you saw last stream. Then there is ACV-2. I think ACV-2 is a custom build carrier that of all people Germany helped with. Then ACV-3 and 4 are implacable class carriers, like a slightly customized variant of them. And then ACV-5, which is the only other carrier before the ones I already did that is unaccounted for, as I think Ranger was ACV-6. Maybe I could add into the history that somehow an Issei class survived. No, because then it would be the challenges of actually getting. But I'm someone who making this group is sort of like my own. Oh, this would be great if a navy was actually like this sort of thing. And hybrids kind of don't fit in that in my view. Again, though, that is just my view on hybrids. Yeah. Passion project that I spent more time than I care to admit on. More time than I care to admit and will ever admit I spent on it. No. Yeah. Okay, so you are in Brave Sir Robin mode now. Rest of you continue charging, I guess. You could actually try use your guns over there. Thank you so very much for acting as torpedo magnets. I guess I could say that. They're torpedo magnets. Oh, no, don't turn like that yet. Oh, Kari went. Okinawa and like the two here. You guys probably had the best chance of all now to actually try and torp. you had the best chance. You two are running. Oh, don't be a dud, don't be a dud, don't be a dud. Yes! Wait a second. How very French. They've got more guns facing backwards than they do forwards. How very French. How very French of the French. Like, for me, it's hybrid in terms of carrier slash anything else. That I don't really like, hybrid-wise. Because hybrid carriers, like carriers, battleships, carriers, cruisers, whatever, they're always going to be inefficient in both their intended roles. Even if they're designed from the very start as the two, because in a surface battle, your hangar spaces and stuff are going to be a massive weakness during any surface engagement. That one good shell penetrating and you've got your hangar stores going out, like hangar fuel exploding, catching fire, ammunition in the hangar area going, and then in the carrier role, you've not really got enough aircraft to be more effective outside of probably a small cap. Again, missile conversions, yeah, I like them. Again, it's hybrid between aircraft carrier and anything else. That's really my big issue on the matter. Tybo is taking hits badly again. Okinawa, why did you and your crew have to surrender? You could have torpedoed more. Right, we need to... We're leaving. We're leaving. Don't stop for injured parties. We're leaving. Right, we're gonna detach the Tybo. Tybo dies. Oh well. Oh well, we're just gonna have to bring another battleship up from invade. We're gonna have to bring a battleship up from the invasion force. Or something like that. Yeah, something makes you think Tybo ain't gonna make it. You using AP? AP. Yeah. Send AP Liberet's way. They're using 186, 18.6 centimeter, 186 millimeter. That's it may eventually happen, Arjutland, but this ain't it. Oh, 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 come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, yes, Tybo, some of your design elements were awesome, are awesome. It's going to force Liberette into port at least. Tybo is probably dead. Like, there's no... I don't think there's any real other way of saying how this is going to go. Tybo's dead. It's just going to be a matter of how quickly she's going to die, which it's going to be quick. It's going to be now. Trust me, it's going to be now. Yep. Tybo's gone. Like, I'd also have to think as well, you'd probably have to extend, you'd probably have to have your main armor belt also cover the hangar flight deck area in terms of height on the ship as well. Just mostly, like I said, if a hit gets through into hangar space, you're gonna at best have leaking fuel, which a high explosive shell could then later come in and, well, set fire to, or the vapours of it from just one mistake, you're going to then blow up the ship, kind of like Taiho. But also as well, if it hits an aircraft ammunition store, we all know how powerful aircraft bombs can be in terms of the damage they deal, so I am definitely thinking, yeah. Yeah. Like, I take these things into consideration when thinking about the aircraft carrier hybrid idea, because mostly because it's a weakness to the design. Like, yes, you're going to say, oh, you do a lot of battle cruisers and there's inherent weaknesses in that. Yes, I do. Yes, but unlike what a hybrid would be, a carrier isn't actually expected to go up close to an enemy and be like, oh, we're going to use our guns on you. Oh, bot, ban. I guess a battleship having its own wing of fighter aircraft that can just launch if aircraft are spotted on the air radar to act as a cap. I guess that is a positive out of it, but when you think battleship, you think big surface fights. And hence why I I see the hybrid idea from the big surface fight side of things, and get its weaknesses of things on that front of things. Right. Oh, come on. They're not damaged enough yet. But he's out of main ammo. And he's got more flooding, so I'm thinking he's gonna swap places again. The enemy battleships are both crippled from torpedo hits. None of my surviving battleships took torpedoes, to my knowledge. Oh no, they're hitting the Dutchman. What did the Dutchman ever do to you? Oh god. Guys, I'm getting some freezing on my end. Fuck. Sorry. Game crash. Right. Right, I know the drill. Is this in the correct tuning? No. Right, I know the drill. Is this one in the correct tuning? That's what game crashes ended up being this time around. Right, that back down carefully. Well, I say carefully, more carefully than I usually do. Alright. Right. Back to it. Dreadnoughts should reappear on OBS shortly. Come on. That's if it'll let me back in the game now, because I went out to go see if it was appearing on OBS or not. You guys may not be seeing it, but I'm seeing right now the original KG-5 class of battleships. Yep, it's up now. There we go. Right. Here's the interesting thing as well. One of the original KG-5 battleships was actually still in service when the new KG-5s, the KG-5s we all know and love, the 14-inch quad twin quad ones, entered service. Like and funny enough, if you don't know the story, the one original KG-5 that was left was actually made to look like another one of the KG-5s. And even more coincidentally, as well, the original KG-5 that was disguised to look like the more modern KG-5, it was in number built of the original KG-5 group the same. I think it was disguising for the third of the newer KG-5s built, and it was the third of the original KG-5s that was built. That's another thing. The KG-5s, the original KG-5s, they essentially go off of what the Iron Dukes and Orions were. They're like the end of the Iron Duke Orion line of design, if that makes any sense. And then after the KG5s you have what is basically a new design line start, which is what we know as the Queen Elizabeth class. Queen Elizabeth Revenge sort of design line in the Royal Navy. Now, I'm still sending in the torpedo boats, don't get me wrong, they're still being sent to death, but the other ships, not so much. Full speed, mate. You might have a better chance trying to go for the one that you went for in the past. Get there and turn. Okinawa probably going to be sent to your death, but if you can at least launch your torpedoes before you die, thank you. Yet you're all being sent to your deaths. Don't get me wrong, but your deaths are all going to be glorious. They're all going to be glorious and for the Empire. First to die originally is last to die here. And it's useless. The torpedo boats did worse this time than they did last time. But at least my ships live. Like, I find the KG5, the modern KG5s, interesting design, really. Like, they're what do you call it? Their gun layout is iconic these days. Like we're sort of like people interested in naval warfare history. It's iconic. Like, also as well being one of only 3 battleship classes to actually use quadruple turrets. The others being the Dunker Q class and the Jean Bar. We originally did want all quads with it, but we were building it. We were rearming, and the treaties were sort of falling apart and stuff, but we still somewhat did it under the London Naval Treaty, so Like, yeah, we built it and everything, but it's like it's very much okay, we need more torpedo boats. As much as the Kari class are helpful, we're getting new ones. Yeah, says the guy who thinks Long Beach is a good-looking ship. Wait, no, I'm not going to get into that argument again. I'm just going to leave it at what I said, and that's it. You know what gun we're using here, everyone? It's no surprise. It's the 7.9mm gun. If you thought I was going to do anything else, you are wrong. Very, very much wrong. Oh, I need the standard funnel. Okay, 25 knots with our current tech. Adding a tiny bit of anti-flood. I'm going to do something that I normally don't do, but I'm willing to do with this class, and that's I'm going to use electrical. Like, yeah, I know there are some inherent problems with using electrical over everything, over hydraulic, but I keep doing same old, and it's like, I need to change things up a bit, you know? So, yeah, the Sagai is going to use electrics, and we're going to, as the Japanese, start using electric-driven equipment now. I'm going to build one last flight of 12 Karis, and then there's going to be 20 Sagais as of current. What do you mean we're not stopping that invasion anymore? Fuck. Fine then. Go there, stay there, stop that invasion. Hope you don't get into a fleet meeting until I call in the other 2 new battleships, which I will be calling over now because, well, yeah, the invasion of Annam would finish. Not you too, Avocado. Not you two. Right, I'm going to send this force over to reinforce. That cruiser group. I don't know why those 3 cruisers were in. No. Must be just some strange thing the game's done. Okay, they're sending more stuff. Help. We're not gonna get any help. Honestly, I think our British early missile era ships are a lot better looking than Long Beach is. Well, was because thank the heavens the thing is scrapped. Mostly scrapped. But you know what? I will, just purely for you guys, not accurate actually. We still had Belfast and Gambia and one of the later Dido class ships into the 60s. So you're wrong, and you're wrong, and I've got the evidence to prove it. Yes, that's a book entirely on Royal Navy cruisers. Oh, and we still had the Tigers. Like, okay. I'll admit Long Beach looks better than the abomination that was the World War II American heavy cruiser refits. I'll give you that. Turns out both my forces can't actually work together because of crew limits. Who knew that was a thing? Right on. I'm gonna send Shikaku's lot after the French. We're going after the French. Both my forces here. Both my forces, whichever one gets the meeting, good luck. Whichever one doesn't, well then, you're the last line of defense. Last in line. We're getting Dreadnoughts in 33 turns. Some nations already have Dreadnought availability. I'm gonna wait for that, actually. I'm gonna have to wait for new dockyard size as well, anyway. Yeah, I will admit of the sort of very early missile cruiser era until the Ticonderogas and the Kirovs came along. Yes, I will admit that, but it's not a good looking ship. It's not a good looking ship, but you know what? Just to satisfy you two, I will probably tomorrow. I'll find a Long Beach on the Naval Art Workshop, and I will. I'll do it. The mercenary group purchased a couple ships under the Long Beach design. I'm saying a couple because I'm giving one of them literally a completely horrible life. But then also, one of them doesn't get a horrible life, so then you guys don't come after me. They've got 4 battleships now. We're screwed. You're talking about carriers now? I'll have you know, we did, by the 1950s, pretty much replace all our World War II era carrier... No, 60s, sorry. By the 60s, replace all our World War II era carriers, bar Hermes. If I remember correctly. But also says the one that still had, for carrier-wise, almost the entire Essex class that was built, bar Franklin and Bunker Hill, because of their combat damage. There are others I'm trying to remember now. Oh yeah, the Midways. Let's not forget the Midways now, shall we? I said Hermes World War II era. Hermes is essentially like Midway, modernised World War II era ship. And that's why I said bar Hermes when I said for World War II era carriers. Although, unlike Midway, Hermes actually entered service in the modernised state, and not in, well, not in a traditional carrier way and then have to be modernised. Okay, what's cruise speed? 9 knots. Let's go to 7.7 knots. .7 knots, it means we're at cruising speed, which improves our gunnery accuracy, and this is torpedo boats we're going up against, so send the high explosive their way. As I am not sacrificing me precious. Did Midway serve in active service until 2016? That's like my big flex against you now. That Midway that we had one of our World War II era carriers last longer in service than Midway. How could she when there was conflicts after her decommissioning? So she couldn't see every single operation since Korea because, well, she was decommissioned for most of them after the 90s. For all of them after the 90s. Oh, they're going for the Dutchman. I want every gun focused on that one machine. Right, baguette down. Oh, don't waste your torpedoes on the torpedo boats. Dutchman, make a turn. Turn. Avoid. Thank you. They're sending their baguettes. Kills the baguettes. Kills them off now. Whoa, you still can kill them off. No, separate. Oh god, Yakumo just took a punch to the guts. Did you get? No, you didn't get torpedoed. That's good. Right, we're detaching Yakumo. Yakumo is going to retreat. Protected cruisers, you're going to smoke screen up. And armoured cruisers, you're going to, well, do armoured cruisery things. If you want to torpedo anyone, go send your torpedoes off toward, well, their battleships. Oh god, Tamar's sinking. Oh, he's taking a hit. My cruisers aren't doing well. Yes, Tsushima, run. Inabai, run. Oi. Run. I do have to remember here, I can, if things get too bad here, just call in the second fleet, my back. I have that liberty. Right. Tessagaru's just taken a torp. Yeah, oi, you're going the wrong way for a retreat, you know. A retreat is get away, and you're going towards the thing that's killing you the most. Right, yeah, I didn't select Yakumo. This is bad, this is bad. speed up. Full retreat, full retreat. Also, you're going against the battleships now. You're going against all of the other stuff, so pull out the armor piercing. Yakumo's running. These guys are beginning to do their running. Democracy is taking fire, which is good. Okay, Dutchman. No, if you do want an aggressive with your torpedoes, do so. You are leaving. Oh, Shokaku just took a hit, a bad hit. I'm not armoured enough against this. What the? How can you go from... I call BS on that one. It wasn't in your navy for that Fletcher class. But also as well, the Fletchers are good ships, I will admit. I do always say that, and have always said that. Ah yes, poor Admiral Makarov, sorry. I was about to say Rozovensky, but Rozovensky wasn't, didn't have such a funny looking beard. I was about to say moustache, but no, that's Makarov's beard. Well, I already know what's going to happen here. We all know what's going to happen here. Okay. Okay. We all know what's going to happen here. It's going to be no surprise, so, everyone at home, sing along. Right. Two. Hey, Alfreds, I found there's a British World War II ship that's still in regularly used service. Seeing as I've had the time to look into this now. Yes! Yes, it is, hold on a second, I need to get its name again. River class frigate, oh, there's actually two. There is one active in the Sri Lankan Navy that was originally HMCS Hallowell. So, but then there's also HMS Stormont, which is also still in active service, but not in the way you would expect for a World War II era frigate to still be in active service. Stormont is a private yacht. Yes, HMS Stormont, a river-class frigate, HMCS Stormont, sorry, a river-class frigate, was converted in... when? It was converted after World War II into a luxury yacht, and it's still active as a luxury yacht. It was converted in the mid-50s. And she, as of 2022, the 59th largest yacht in the world. Oh, and she even has airplane handling facilities, something she didn't have while in active naval service. That's the name of the ship at now at times. But she is, she's the one that's, as a yacht, and then this is the one that is, still active. Yay, a victory! It's not exactly the Primo Victoria, we already had the Primo Victoria, but, victory for us. Oh, this is fun. There's another ship under the same name. That's also active. Still. So I have to bring the training ship to the end of that. Seriously, there aren't really any modern photos of her? That is a very bad oversight. If it helps, the Thai Navy, I think, still has a cannon class active. I can't afford that. Yay, a fight we can actually take on! Let's go! OLD, oldest tank still in service. It's Soviet. The T-34 is still in use. By, I don't know who, but apparently someone still uses a T-34 somewhere. So it's Soviet. AKA worse than it being British. The M3 is American, right? Yeah. Who's still using the M3 Stewarts? Variants. Paraguay. Paraguay is still using them with. Okay. T-34s. Well, yeah, the T-34 still tops out on top. Comes out on top by a year. The oldest British-made tank that's still active in other countries is the Centurions from 1946. Good operators. The T-34 is still operated by, apparently, the Congo, Guinea-Bissau, Namibia, North Korea, Yemen, and Vietnam. Okay, back to heavy cruiser murdering. Remember, armor piercing. I'll have you know, the Churchill never got to prove itself because, well, you Americans were there. What else? The Matildas? The, Challengers? Oh, oh, and the fact we invented the bloody things, so the Mark 1s and, well, when they were still referred to as Marks. You want me to go on with the list? Because I can if you would like me to. Well, actually, I can't really. I don't really know British tanks that well. I wouldn't know, I haven't seen one operating. And I don't think one is on the list of, it's on the list of, what's you call it, tanks that are going to be in the arena during Tiger Day the Saturday coming. As I'm going to see Tiger 131. You say that about pretty much everything because Brits have built. The Queen Anne's Mansion, oh that's a brick. The Churchill, oh that's a brick. Next you're going to say the entire island looks like a brick. No, the Queen Anne's Mansions look like a block of flats. And as you're American, you're not going to know what I'm talking about when I refer to flats. Oh damn it, you're an American who's actually educated. Damn it, your school didn't have enough school shootings. Sorry. Sorry I had to make that joke, but... We are winning. Yes, I'm going to hit agree to that statement of request for peace treaty because I've had enough of fighting France. My fleet needs modernization. We still have the Byzantines and the Americans to deal with. Oh, and the Austro-Hungarians. So yeah. I'll take peace. Ah, well. At least I'm not someone who has to wake up and just be like, Oh, another school shooting. Then moves on. It's like, or hmm. Or I've got a world leader who's ruining the world economy. I know what you're talking about, and no, it's not a shed. It's a greenhouse. Wait, no, it's none actually, because it's open topped. It's open topped, and both of those are enclosed. Maybe more a conservatory? Oh, come on, no. Why am I just getting a white screen? There we go. Okay, the Dutchman is leading, followed by all those cruisers, followed by all these cruisers. Don't get torpedoed, and you'll be fine. Yeah, I guess you could say it's a fridge. What type though? Mini fridge or full size? Come on, Mr. Torpedo Boat. I know you want a piece of my battleships. Look, they've even exposed their full broadsides for you. All my ships have. And they're still not taking the bait. Has to remind himself what the Conqueror is. Conqueror tank. Oh, that thing. Things that the Chieftain was the replacement of. That the Chieftain's replaced, sorry. That's the more accurate phrasing for that. But yes, their invasion has failed miserably. Oh, our expenses are too high. There's 2 turns left on those ships, so if I'm going to temporarily halt the Hiryus then. And then that gets our torpedo boat numbers sorted. It sorts out our budget for a turn. Uh-oh. The Byzantines are here. And they're here with 6 battleships! My god, that is... a lot. And they're off Cameric Bay. Great. Just great. Help. No, peanuts. Finally, something that you actually like, Britishness. I would say I'm a particularly big fan of the Halifax. The Halifax essentially, the other British heavy bomber that doesn't really get as much recognition as the Lancaster. Oh, and whatever you do, don't say you like the Sterling. Shackletons are great. The Shackletons are essentially the last in the development line that started with the Lancaster. Well, the Manchesters, sorry. There was then the Lancasters, then it was the Lincoln, then it's the Shackleton. And there was a derivative line. That was the Lancaster and then the Tudor aircraft. You know what? Let's piece out the Byzantines while they still have this little of a advantage over us. We're at most going to go bankrupt for a couple turns. Funny, I have a book here called World's Worst Aircraft. Context of saying it is by an American author, so it's not biased against Americans, but a lot of the aircraft in there are American. No, it's in terms of like worst in it's not by, like, looks worst, it's by how they actually fared in service and stuff like that. Some of which is literally just, oh, they came out at the wrong time cases. Like they have a section that just came out at the wrong time, and then the rest is just literally horrible. Yay, we only lost the torpedo boat Kamikaze! Thanks, Byzantine! We're at peace with the Byzantines now, everyone. Which is great. We only just lost one torpedo boat. Well, 2 torpedo boats in 2 turns now. In 1 turn, but it's not as bad as other losses we've had. I will openly say that. Right. We need to cut research budget for a turn, but we ain't bankrupt! Yay! We ain't bankrupt. We ain't putting our people at risk by having to put more money in the Navy. War continues after failed negotiations. You gotta be censored, kidding me. Well, at least their main battle fleet is left. France, where are you? Peace treaty, I want one now. Thank you. Hopefully in 1901, the French actually agreed with the peace, to the peacefulness of peace, and we can move on more friendlier than ever. You have an uglier aircraft. I like it and all before I say this, the B-36 Peacemaker. Boo at me all you want. Again, I like the aircraft, just it's not really that good looking. Especially when it has engine fires. As if I remember correctly, that was a very, very common occurrence with the B-36 because of its pusher configuration. How dare... How dare you! I think that was a horrible attempt at a posh British voice, but still, how dare you! How dare you say the fault? The Victor and the Valiant, yeah. I'll be honest to God with you, they're ugly. Vulcan, Nah. You want to know what is a good-looking aircraft, though? Buff. Or as habitual line crosser viewers would know it as Grandpa Buff. Yes, I do know what Buff stands for. And I honestly think it's a good-looking aircraft. War continues after more failed negotiation attempts. It's almost as if they love war. France, peace treaty, thank you. No, we ain't giving you Fort Bayard back, so just peace treaty out already. Well, Buff sort of has the not so wide, flat-sidey sort of look that the Lightnings also have. No, do you want to know what I think is the best looking American aircraft? Military aircraft. The F-4 Phantom. That, in my opinion, is the best looking American fighter aircraft, military aircraft. And kill me if you like, but I think the F-14s are overrated because of Top Gun. Like, they're overrated and they only really have their popularity because of Top Gun. I have a scale model of my favourite bomber aircraft right here. Careful, I do not want to break this one. And this was one of the first aircraft models I got that I was actually in a state of, I actually want to keep these in really good condition if I possibly can. It's this thing. An aircraft I mentioned already. The Hadley Page Halifax. And it, my particular one here, it's a model I've had for a while now, and has been in a prominent place on my model shelf. Piece has finally been signed. Oh, we only have 186. Well, give me the two battleships that we always fail to kill, regardless of how much we tried to send after them. And give me Martiniques and Kerguelen Islands. Thank you. Okay, good news. I can send my ships to do other stuff now. I'm going to send you after Alaska. That fleet after Alaska, this fleet as well can head up there, but I'm going to separate the Dutchman and Tybo, and they are both going to head home for rebuilds. Tybo and the Dutchman are going to go into Yokosuka Naval Yard instead. Tybo, Dutchman, to there. And I'm going to do the Dutchman's refit first because or I think with Tybo it might just be retire her. I also quite like the F-104s. Despite the fact that they've had a history of decapitating anyone and everyone who has walked up next to their wing. Alright, you guys are not having the 28cm anymore, you are having the 32 millimeter gun that I've been fitting to my ships. Fitted onto you. You are getting 155mm guns put on. 15.5cm, sorry, guns put on. So is this one I can fit? Like the towers of the the secondary barbettes on? No, this ain't. See, a Dutchman is stuck with whatever he has regardless, so. So yeah, come get your 32cm guns, I guess. Let's put on the 32s, then let's front tower 4, which is fine. Rear tower 3. That work. Rear tower 2 would work, which rear tower 2 as well gives 2 secondary gun mounts. Okay, I'm guessing we are going to be introducing the 14cm then. As I know that was a popular Japanese caliber, the 14cm guns. Alright, inches to centimeters, and then I want a 13. It's 33. Let's go 35 millimeter. Centimeter, sorry. Then 8 centimeters. Are about 3 inch. Okay. It's like 4 inches. Right. So 4.5 become 11 centimeters. Main deck becomes a 5.5. Conning tower, 8 inches is 203. 20.3. Oh, come on. 20.3. It's not letting me do the 20.3. Oh well. 2 centimeter inners there. 35, 35, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. There. You already induced. Got the better stuff there. You're at max bulkheads already? Okay, 16.5 still, I guess. Stop crying at me. Hydro, your original rudder gets cut for a better rudder. You get given a double bottom, new stuff there. White powder, gun cotton, standard sized shells. Yep. Max AP is actually good. You get given the electrical turrets. Where are your torpedo tubes? There. Right. Torpedo tubes removed for the final iteration of this version. Final tweaks to this version of the Dutchman. We haven't got any new battleship hulls yet. We are currently just right now doing refits to already existing battleship hulls. Taibo, I'm not going to refit Taibo. The French ships are certainly getting refit. The 18.6 centimeter guns are getting ripped out for the 15.5 centimeter guns. let's... oh my god. Mistakes were made. Let's fix this up a tiny bit. There, and then can I still fit that 31 centimetre back here like so? I can still somewhat do it, yes. That's if I want to continue the craziness that the baguettes were doing to this thing. But I do not want to actually continue that baguette craziness because baguette craziness is crazy. I'm instead going to do the most baguette thing that I'm allowed to do, allow myself to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 funnels. There we go. Are you not entertained? Oh, my friend. Right, that's pure French. Yep. Yep, good enough. You're telling me that no twin gun is actually fitting there? Okay, at least the single mount fits there. French! Hold on. No, if I get rid of that, then that actually looks somewhat cool. We'll just have to pretend that that area is actually entirely plated over or whatever. You know what? Yeah, I will replace that single 15.5 mount. Boom, boom, ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah. I think we have sufficiently sorted out the armament of this baguette. Oh, add another centimetre, sorry, because this is the IGN. We run 32 centimetre here, because then the 7.9 inch guns return in force at the front and at the rear by only one mount. Right, 7 centimetre, that's more than I usually do, so that's okay, I guess. What's this? Actually, no, 7 centimetres isn't more than I usually do for 4.5 belts. I do 11 centimetres. I already knew the number here because I remember it from that last ship. $36. No. 30 centimetre. Yeah, what's 12 inch? Yeah, 12 inch is 30 centimetre, so 30 centimetre. 11 centimetre conning tower. 30, 30, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. There. There. Already set the nickel steel. Oh, yeah. Also got the electricals. That would have been disastrous if I'd forgotten the electrical. Base fuse, I guess. $17. I can push it up to 17. Okay. Baguette's sufficiently made ready for new service. And that's going to be the end. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you again. Silent service going silent. Right there. There. Off. There. Save. Save. Because I do not want to lose the ships this time.